Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today because I am back from vacation and I'm excited to get caught up on all my videos. So let's go ahead and dive in. And the first video I'm doing after vacation is this weekly check-in, because what I did, because it was the last week of the month of August, I did that as a fifth week, so that I can just put a specific amount of money in my checking account, and that is what we spent on our vacation. It covered any eating out, souvenirs, tickets, things like that, and you're going to see what we spent and did we stay in the budget for what I had planned for all of that. So I'm excited to get in. I'm excited to show you all that, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I am back. So I have my weekly check-in sheet here. I have my week 5 categories set up. Basically, the categories here are just to see how we spent our money. What was the trends for the money I had budgeted for the last week of August? So when we went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the last week of August, and today is actually September 1st, by the way, and because it's September 1st and I haven't got any of my September stuff up, I wanted to go ahead and close this out, and over the next few days I'll be rapidly, almost every day, putting some kind of video up on getting me caught up to my weekly check-ins and paycheck to paycheck. So I have a lot going on here, so be patient, but I hope you enjoy all the content. So I budgeted $1,300 total for week 5 in my weekly check-in. $1,300 cash. Now you're going to see whether I stayed in budget or I didn't stay in budget, and what I can improve on for next time. I did like using a tracker that I created for my vacation budget, which you will see in my paycheck to paycheck video, and I also tracked it in my calendar, these categories as far as how we spent the money. I wanted to see what the trends were. How much was going to gas? How much was going to eating out? How much was going to buying tickets to things or t-shirts and stuff? So I do have it broken down like that in these 5 categories, and I'm excited to get started. So I'm going to switch budget sheets. I popped them out of my notebook so it'll be easier to work with. And I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to start with my calendar and show you the last week. So let me kind of adjust my camera here and I'll be right back. So what I have here is my August calendar, my August 2021 dated calendar. And I usually do one for every month, and then I take it down at the end of the month because they're kind of obsolete because they are dated. But here is where we're starting right here. Let me get it a little more centered. There we go. On checking off what we have as far as what we spent for the days. And you can see some days we did a lot of spending, some days we didn't do as much spending because we just couldn't walk anymore, basically. And then you're going to see this last day here was yesterday, and that was us coming home. So you're going to see a couple trends, what it was till the end of August, how much we spent, and what we spent. See if I can get all of this on here. I think I can. What we spent just on vacation. So, and what I learned and what I realized is I did not budget for the day we came home. I didn't even think about it. I got one more day over here that you can't see on the camera, so I'll move these back and forth. But yeah, I didn't budget for this day, so I was over in that perspective of things. But as far as the days we were actually on vacation in Gatlinburg, we did pretty good. I was really happy. I was really surprised. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I do, and I'll just show you this real quick, is my categories: grocery, household, restaurants, miscellaneous, gasoline, and unbudgeted. I highlight the little boxes in the corner of my expense stickers. This month I was having fun with the 2 different colors and just alternated them through the month. Usually I do one solid color, which is what I'm going to do for September, and it's my purple peonies budget sheets. I'm really excited about those and can't wait to get into that new color. So as you can see here, starting on the 25th, which was my first day, I did grocery household. And so how I defined grocery household, if I could buy it in a grocery store, a Walmart grocery store, Food Lion, Kroger's, Harris Teeter, whatever, and I typically buy it on a grocery shopping trip, I counted it as groceries and household. I combined my grocery household into one category, and that's how I did it. So even though this says loves travel, and if you know what that means, it's a truck stop. We stopped and went to the restroom and got candy and sodas and stuff for the trip. And so that's, which I could have gotten candy and sodas at the grocery store, which is why I counted it as a convenience grocery store. So we didn't do a lot of grocery shopping because we ate out more, but at the same time, we did do a lot of traveling. Now, to make this go a little faster, I did write down everything on the sticky note. And actually, I had to use 2 sticky notes. So my grocery household here is at the top. I'll switch to this one for the restaurants, but I haven't totaled them yet. I'm going to total that with you guys, miscellaneous and gasoline. Because there was just so many transactions, I was like, wow, this is a little overwhelming. I did some prep work so we can get through it just a little bit faster. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my calculator here. And I'm going to kind of set it over here. And actually over here, we are going to visually check off as we go through. I'm going to double check I wrote the right number with, that didn't have any, with what I have written here, and then we'll do the total. So the $6.75 for Loves Travel, that was just some snacks and stuff that we got. Food Lion here, my husband bought a bag of ice for the cooler, and we needed that. And then I have $57.83 at Walmart. So when we got to Gatlinburg, I typically don't like hotel pillows at all, especially when they seem like really, I don't know, moldable, and I don't know how to describe them. They're very squishy. They never keep their shape, and they aggravate me to death. So when we got to Gatlinburg, we stopped at Walmart. I got 2 pillows for $10 that I knew would get us through the week. And then I forgot some food items, like my son likes Pop-Tarts. Sometimes he doesn't like going downstairs for the breakfast area, so we had Pop-Tarts and stuff like that. So we just got odds and ends items that we needed for the hotel room, and that was $57.83. P&N Market, another stop for snacks and drinks. This is the next day. That was $8.91. And then Bearland General was $12.06. My husband went and got some drinks for the hotel room for himself. And then the next time I counted anything as grocery household, I did it over here. And I know it's at the bottom. Let me see if I can move some stuff. Move this up a little bit. There we go. Oh, here we go. So we got $170 for groceries when I got back, because I let our groceries run down before we left so nothing would spoil in the fridge. Got some milk, got some meats like ground beef and chicken and things like that. So we have dinners this week, and then HelloFresh came out like it does on Tuesdays. I do plan to get a HelloFresh box this Saturday, and they charge me on Tuesday before I get it, so that works well. So these are the only grocery household items that I have. So let me kind of get this sitting in one place, and we will total this up, and I will be right back. So the total I have here is $326.02, which matches my notes, and I'm very happy with that because I did $1 over on, I put 13 instead of 12 there. It was kind of weird. So $326.02. And then we're going to go through and check off the miscellaneous. Do I want to check off the miscellaneous? Yeah, I'm going to check off. Even though restaurants I usually do second because of how I have it listed here. There's so many restaurants. I think I'm going to save it for last. So let's go ahead and check off the miscellaneous and go from there. So really, my first miscellaneous will be here. It's called God's Grace. It was a store there in Gatlinburg, a Christian store. I went in and got my mom a t-shirt and a few items, and just I got myself a t-shirt. I like to get whatever season I'm in, like we're going into fall, I'll get long sleeve t-shirts for winter. That's kind of my wardrobe. I'm a t-shirt and jeans kind of person. So very basic. But God's Grace was $66.91. I got stuff for myself, my son, and my mom, and I'm really excited about that. I got to get that in the mail to her. Crazy, no, that's not it. Ripley's $48.27. Interesting story here. I'm going to call it a blessing gift because I don't know who has my t-shirts, I accidentally left them somewhere on the way back to the hotel. It was a shirt for me and a shirt for my son. We went to the Ripley's Aquarium. So we are counting that as a blessing to someone else. Whoever found it, that's theirs. And we are blessing them because I lost it. I hate that I lost $48, but the good thing about a lot of this, all this money that we spent was stimulus money we got earlier this year. When everyone got like $1,200 or something like that per person, we saved $3,500 of that, and I think we got $52 total, but $3,500 of it went for this vacation. Almost $2,000 went to the hotel that we were staying at, and then $1,300 of it went to the spending during this trip. So it wasn't money that we earned and lost. That kind of takes the stings away, but I'm sad that we lost the shirt. So life happens. All right, so Old Smokies. If you've been to Gatlinburg and know what that is, that was my husband's purchase, and I'll just leave it at that. I have nothing to do with Old Smokies. And that was $67.91. And then $92.14, an American Tradition is what it was called on the receipt. I don't know what the storefront was called, but this is where I got more t-shirts. And then I got something for my mom that was like a Bible cover where you can put your Bible in it. And then I put her t-shirt in it, and then I got her little red cardinal pin to stick on it. And it's really, she loves cardinals. I mean, she's obsessed with them, and she really loves those. So that's what I got her. And then the next thing, I was at the hotel kind of piddling on my computer, resting my feet, and I spent $6.54 on PayPal for some graphics for October's headers, and I'm really super excited. I've done a test print, and I can't wait to show you guys in a week or so when I have them printed and ready to go. Hollywood Cars, my husband bought tickets to go see the Hollywood Cars Museum there in Gatlinburg in downtown, and that was $29.03. And then what else is there? Move this on this side so we can see a little more. Ripley's Museum, so $67.03. That was 2 tickets to the Ripley's Museum Oddities, and it was really, it's like 3 floors, 3 levels, and really, really, really neat. So we enjoyed that. It was just me and my husband. My kids would have gone, but we wanted to see it before them. They are autistic, and certain things, certain sensory things bother them, so we wanted to check it out for ourselves. And then we plan to go to Gatlinburg as often as possible in the next few years. So we're just going to make it like an annual trip, and we'll take them next time. The last thing was, not the last thing, second to last thing is Kate's Cove. That was a really beautiful experience. I have many pictures of all these things, and I'll show you a couple pictures here of Kate's Cove. It's basically an area of Gatlinburg where settlers came in and put their living quarters and churches and stuff like that. And I'm going to pull my pictures up here and show you a couple of things. First, I'll show you the aquarium. Let's see if I have a good one of the aquarium. There, is that a good one? I think that's a good one. I like this one here. You can see my husband and my son right here. It's a little blurred, but you can see there's water above, water beside. You can see the fish swim over you and beside you and all that. It's really, really cute. And then we saw penguins, which were really, really cute. Look at those guys. And let's see. We were talking about Kate's Cove. So here we go. So we have this building here. We saw something like this. And that's my husband and son talking to the guide right there. There was a house and some other things. So this is just in a nature area. There was a babbling brook kind of thing. It was really, really pretty. So it's really fun to go to if you like nature, if you like being outdoors. It's a wonderful place to be. So, but it was free to get in and do all those things, but we spent $50 at the gift store. And that's why there was $50. We bought a book and some other things there. It was really cool. And the last thing we have is ATM fees because I needed cash to pay for parking there, and I went to the ATM to get parking on the last day we were there because my son wanted to go to the Gatlinburg Mall down there and see some of the shops. So that's his thing. And so let's go ahead and total this up real quick. Get my calendar back in order. Okay, I am back. So miscellaneous stuff, t-shirts, souvenirs, all the fun activities and stuff. Now, what was not included in here that should have been included, but I put on my credit card because I bought the tickets online instead of using my debit card, were the Ripley Aquarium tickets, and you will see that in my credit card log in another video. And that was total for 4 adults, $180. Now, there are package deals where you can get discounts if you buy 2 or 3 activities in Gatlinburg, but we didn't know and we didn't do it. So we kind of missed out on those savings. So $451.83. That is what we spent in souvenirs. So I'm going to write that down here. And stuff and things and tickets, but all the other tickets were purchased there and not online, and so that's why I use my debit card on that. Let's see here. The last thing I have is gas. Now gas, and then we'll go to restaurants. Now gas started gas on the 25th. So I have $45.31 right here. And then we move this over a little bit. We bought gas here. I'm on screen? Yeah, I'm on screen. All right, and then we bought gas here for $48.60. Now keep in mind I have a Nissan Armada. It's a 2013. It's a 29-gallon tank. It takes a lot of gas. Gas was about $3 or so. So yeah, this is about average for $3. Now, once we got to Gatlinburg, we didn't drive anywhere until Sunday because we could walk from our hotel to the downtown area and go out to dinner and things like that. So we really did not have to buy gas again until we got to Sunday, and we filled up our tank after we went to Cades Cove. Now, if you're going to Cades Cove, and we spent $63.21. If you're going to Cades Cove, oh, I forgot to check Cades Cove and ATM off. Make sure you go in with more than half a tank of gas. It's an 11-mile loop if you do the entire loop and stop at all the different buildings and different churches and stuff like that. But because you're going so slow, you burn more gas, and it's kind of stop and go. You have to wait for wildlife to cross, and you're kind of idling quite a bit. So go in with as much gas as possible. And it's only 35 miles an hour through not Cades Cove, but in the area that from Gatlinburg getting to Cades Cove. It's very windy. It's only 35 miles an hour. So, you know, there's only so far you can go. We started with a half a tank, which gave us 140 or 150 miles left in gas. And I think we got out of there at 60 miles left in gas. So we were kind of pretty close for us. We try not to go below 100 too much. And yeah, we were getting pretty low. So that was not easy. So that's why the bill jumped from 40 to 60, because we were getting really, really low. I don't normally let my tank go that low. And then Shell gas station, we stopped, and that was $47.79. That was on our way back. We were driving from Gatlinburg because we filled up here on Sunday, and when we got back into town after we did our driving for the day, we had a full tank of gas on Monday, and we just left. And then by the time we took I-40 across North Carolina and met with I-85, I think, going north, and then taking 53 across, or 52, I can't remember the numbers, across Virginia into where it meets with 95, going all the way into Chesapeake. We only had to fill up, and I still haven't filled up my tank since. So we're doing pretty good on gas there. So let's go ahead and total this up. All right, we have $204.91. So that is what we spent there. Now, eating out. How did that work for us? Whew. It's our biggest category. So what we decided, because my husband and I are vaccinated, my kids are not. They're not comfortable yet. I'm not really ready to have my 17-year-old get vaccinated. My 22-year-old, and remember, both of these young men are autistic, and it's, even though they're pretty typical in most things, and they understand and comprehend the risks and stuff, they're just still high anxiety kids or young adults and just can't handle some of this. So we're not forcing them. If they're in a bigger environment that we're concerned about, then we try to make the best decision possible. So for our vacation, what we did was we didn't go in restaurants unless the restaurants weren't to full capacity. So while we were in Gatlinburg, my sons didn't go to restaurants. They were afraid to go. They didn't want to go. They weren't comfortable going. And they are just happy as larks, just sitting in the hotel room and getting delivery. So that's what we did. But the first night was not in Gatlinburg. Our first night was actually in Roanoke, Virginia, this night here. And we went to the Texas Roadhouse. I have a cousin that lives in Roanoke, Virginia, and she met us for dinner with her daughter and her granddaughter. And it was just a lovely little cousin time family meeting. And my sons were comfortable going to the restaurant there. And yeah, it was nice Texas Roadhouse night, and we had a lot of fun. Arby's. This is us driving up to Roanoke. So that's the last thing we did. Arby's was lunch that afternoon on the way in for me and my husband. My sons wanted a snack instead of lunch because they really weren't that hungry. So that was just us. Let's see. For $34.99, Bones Barbecue. You're going to see that a couple of times. It was a barbecue place right down the hill from where we were in Gatlinburg. We stayed at a Fairfield Inn Suites, right off of Historic Nature Trail, and it was a great hotel. It was just really, really nice. We enjoyed it. On the way in from Roanoke to Gatlinburg, so that was that night, and then that afternoon on the way in, there was at McDonald's. There wasn't a lot of people there, so my son got a milkshake for $2.94, and we also got lunch, which is $29.43, and that was lunch on the way in. My sons had I had pre-made hamburger helper lasagna and kept it in a cooler on the way up there to Gatlinburg, and that was their first night dinner. So we did fix stuff and bring it that we could refrigerate in coolers, and then heat up in microwaves at the hotel. So that worked out really well. Next time I'm going to do hamburger helper lasagna and spaghetti, because those are my son's two favorite meals, and give them an extra meal in the hotel room like that. Let's see. So that is that. And then here, let's see, let's start at the bottom. The next night, we ordered my son's pizza. So that was $36.92. And then my husband and I went out to Crawdaddy's. Okay. So it's kind of a Cajun South, some kind of Southern restaurant, and we had a good dinner, and he got crawdads or crawfish or whatever they call the little red things, and had that for dinner. And then and that was our dinner that night. Somehow I got these out of order. Ripley's, we also had lunch there. I don't know why I checked over here. I need to check over here. And at some point that night after Crawdads, my husband and I went to the Crazy Mason Jar. I can't read what I wrote there. Anyway, the Crazy Mason Jar it was a dessert place. Literally amazing desserts. And I'm actually going to show you the jar we got from there. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So I have here in my hand the Crazy Mason milkshake bar glass. So this is what it looks like. It says the Crazy Mason milkshake bar. in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And this is what you get your milkshake in, as you can see on the little logo here. But it also had what you see here on top, on top of your milkshake. It was crazy. And literally the name is exactly what it says. Crazy Mason, you get a mason jar, milkshake bar. So what they did is they had choices, and the one I got was like strawberry cheesecake. So it was a strawberry milkshake with real whole strawberry, not the whole strawberry, but it was cut up, a lot of strawberries, and sitting on top, like these guys, was a slice of cheesecake, like a full slice that you would get at a restaurant. And it was just so cool. I had a really good time with this. They gave you a little plate, and I took the cake off, and I wish I took pictures of the milkshake. I didn't even think about it. I just got into it and was eating it because it looked so amazing, and it was so good. I mean, you can share one of these, and these are just $14 and some change for the dessert and the jar and all the things. It was definitely worth it, and it was always crowded, and it was a lot of fun. So we enjoyed it. They had cookies and cream. They had a lot of chocolate stuff, a lot of whatever you wanted, they had it. So I got the strawberry milkshake with the cheesecake, and it had just a whole slice of cheesecake and whipped cream, and they do icing around the edge here, and then they roll the icing in some kind of topping around the top, and it goes all the way around here. It was just amazing. So anyways, that was the dessert, and yes, we spent $32.26 on that. Let me see where I'm at. $32.26 because I went backwards here. So there's all that. I don't know why I checked there. So yeah, that was an amazing day. That was our first full day in Gatlinburg. We went to the aquarium. That was our first main activity one he wanted to do. It was for Jack, our youngest son. That is what he loves, zoos and aquariums. So we wanted to make sure we did that first when we were fresh and not exhausted. And then my husband and I just went out and just splurged as far as dinners and desserts and all that. So the next day, there was a Subway right down the street, and we got Subway for $14.92. And then that night I ordered Grubhub. They have a Johnny Rockets, and we had an amazing driver that for some reason Johnny Rockets internet was down and they didn't get our order. So she showed up with the Grubhub order that I placed and said, hey, they ordered this, they paid for this, I need you to make this. So originally they were like, no, we didn't get the order, we're not making it. And she's like, oh no, they've paid, you better make it. And she got them to make it, so that was awesome. That was $74.33. We got an appetizer and then 2 chicken and 2 burgers with fries and all the things. So that was really, really good. And then I tipped her really well in that because she went above and beyond to make sure we got our food that night. And so I gave her an extra blessing and a tip. And then, let's see. Oh, I forgot to mark that. Over here, let's see. I have Smith & Son. This was the last night in Gatlinburg. It was the last restaurant my husband and I got to go to together. Now, every night the boys had something. They got barbecue, Bones Barbecue for $14.64. My husband and I went to Smith & Son. It was a really nice restaurant. Really enjoyed it. Low key, but very comfortable, and enjoyed that. McDonald's on the way home, which was $28.60. And then yesterday I went grocery shopping. I forgot to eat before I went, so I went to Chick-fil-A and got a breakfast meal for $6.48. And then that night, my husband and I got Peking Chinese, which we had not had Chinese in a long time. And that's one of our go-to Chinese places. And that usually lasts us a couple of days. We eat half in the night and then half for lunch the next day. So that's kind of a 2-day, even though it's $32.88. If you split that in half, that's literally how much it cost us for 2 days of meals. So, or 2 meals, or 4 meals total. Anyway, so that is all those numbers. Let's total up the restaurant and see how I did in restaurants. And then we will go to the numbers on how to budget and what we actually spent and all the things in the weekly check-in. So I will be right back. I have $585.14. That was a lot of food, but it was yummy. Everything we had was great. It tasted good. We did enjoy it. The barbecue place was okay. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't our typical go-to place. We usually go to Mission Barbecue or we go to Whitman's here in Virginia Beach. But I don't know. There was just something about it that was good, but not great. So I really enjoyed it though. And glad we went and ready to dive in. Did I check everything off? Yes. And dive into the weekly check-in. So pull this off to the side. And go ahead and pull this over. So I'm going to put what we spent, but I'm also going to go back and do a budgeted number that will equal the $1,300. So you can see what I thought I was going to spend and what, actually I'll go ahead and put what I thought I was going to spend. So you can see what I thought I was going to spend in each category and then what I actually spent. Even though I really didn't have a plan breakdown, I just kind of spent as I went along, hoping I didn't go over. We'll see. So what I have here for grocery household, I thought would be $325. And then restaurants, out of the $1,300 that I have down here, these aren't accurate numbers. That was just $1,300 divided by 4. That was just for me to start thinking out the process, how much I would spend. I knew I would spend more in restaurants, and I thought it would be $450. It's actually a lot more than that. Miscellaneous, I thought would be $320. And gotta remember, I haven't been on vacation or done a vacation budget before, and I haven't been on vacation in a very, very long time. So yeah, that was hard to judge how much we would be spending. And then I put $205 here. And then we no unbudgeted, which I know there is no unbudgeted because I didn't mark anything unbudgeted. So this is actually $1,300 total. And what I actually spent. So grocery household. Let's put this like this. There we go. Grocery household, I had $326.02. which only gave me $1.02 over budget, which is awesome. Now, restaurants is the big kahuna here. That was way over $585.14. Now, this is a great way to pre-plan for the next trip, whatever that trip is. If we were just going to visit family in Kentucky, these numbers would look totally different. If it's a family vacation and we're paying for it, and it's just the 4 of us and we have to logistically figure everything out and we don't have family helping because our family likes to help, then that's a totally different situation. So here, let's do the math. I have $450 minus the $585.14, and that gives us $135. Is that right? Yeah, $135.14. I want to double check my notes to make sure I had the same number here. 14, there we go. And then I budgeted $320 for miscellaneous, and we actually spent $451.83. Now this also included the recovery day at home. It also included that, so which I did not plan for, and I will be planning for in the future. I will make sure I have a few $100s for when I get home to cover replenishing and restocking the fridge and buying snacks that we ran out of and so on and so forth. So let's see, clear that out. Wait a minute, did I do that wrong? 320 minus 451.83. I deleted before I needed to. So that was $131.83. All right, so the last thing I have is gasoline, which is the only thing I'm under in And I kind of knew this number before I guessed on this number, so I made sure I had at least one that wasn't in red and made it work. And I guessed about $200 in gas. So 205 minus 204.91, and that just gives us 9 cents. So, and that's not too bad. Driving from the coast of Virginia to Roanoke, Virginia, to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and back to Chesapeake or near the coast of Virginia. Yeah, $200 is not bad round trip for an entire week. So I do like knowing that number for the future, and I can definitely use that. Oh, I forgot to write the number here. I'm writing ahead of myself. Let's see, 204.91. So these totals on how much I spent. So as you can tell by these numbers, I am over budget for what I had planned for the vacation. Now, this I was only thinking all the way up till Sunday or Monday. I was not thinking of Tuesday and having to replenish everything. So I'm going to show you what the number is without Tuesday's information. But for right now, I'm just going to total this up. And that gave us total spent, including the day home, recovery day home, $1,567.90. Obviously, that's over. But if you take out, I gotta find my Sunday side of the calendar here. If you take out this day, which I should have planned for and I did not, if you take these numbers out, you will see whether I was in budget or not. Minus 32.88, minus 170.88, minus 648, minus 64.28. There we go. I am just under $1,300. In fact, it's like $6 and some change less. So my vacation, my $1,300 budget vacation actually stayed within budget for daily expenses, for most of the tickets, and for all the eating out. This was what I put in my checking account. Oh, wrong page. There we go. So this number here includes everything on the 25th all the way up to the 30th, and not including the 31st. Next time I will know to budget at least $200 or $300 for the 31st or whatever the recovery day back is going to be, to replenish what I needed in my refrigerator and groceries and stuff that I needed for the house, and go from there. So I'm really excited that we stayed within the budget as far as tickets and eating out and souvenirs and all the fun activities, except for one thing. There's one thing I didn't take in consideration, and we just decided to pay for it out of another part of the budget, and we're just gonna leave it there. But that is, let's see how much that was. Ripley tickets. So we had Ripley tickets for $180.96. Trying to see. Oh, I'm not even on camera. There we go. We had Ripley tickets for $180.96, and that went on the credit card, and that's the only thing not included here. Now, if I add that number in, $180.96, that puts us over a little bit. It was $14,700, or $1,474.43 minus the $1,300 I had saved. We're $174.34 over budget. But that's okay. It was a great vacation. And I didn't think I was going to put that money on those ticket purchase on my credit card until I got to the hotel and bought it in ahead of time. It just saved us from going in line and waiting outside in the heat with purchasing the tickets. We just went straight in, showed the phone, they scanned the QR code on your phone, and then you walk right in. So it was a convenience factor more than anything, and you got in quicker and it worked. So yeah, that was great. So I'm gonna zoom out, close out this video, and yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, I am back. So I have one last thing to do and get this total number right here. So weekly check-in, let's see, I have a 102 negative minus a 135.14. Oops, did that wrong. Let's try that again. 102 negative minus a 135.14 minus 131.83 plus the 9 cents means I was over budget by $267.90. That included this day here, and that's what most of the money went to, was Tuesday. Now, where did I get the over budget money? Well, you will see that in my paycheck to paycheck video, but the simple answer is the money I saved for a painter, my painter that I use to paint the interior of our home, was at our house while we were on vacation painting our living room and ceilings and a few other things that we wanted to get to finish, and our downstairs is completely finished. It's taken a couple years, but we've gotten it all done, and I'm super happy with everything and how it turns out, and it looks amazing. So I have not paid him yet. He's supposed to call me and give me the balance of what we owe him, and the $551 that we had in the checking account for him. Well, obviously we had to pay for this. So, but my husband did get paid today. It's September 1st, and I will reallocate that back to the budget and go forward from there. So catch my paycheck to paycheck video next. And I will see you guys next time. I hope you have an amazing and blessed day, and take care. Bye.